Let's talk about the one reason you might consider becoming a non-PAR provider with Medicare under Part B and all of the reasons why you should just be a PAR provider. So guys, if you don't know me, my name's Tony Maritato. Check out the channel, subscribe. The only reason to even consider being a non-PAR provider with Medicare for outpatient services would be because you can charge, or rather collect, up to 115% of the non-PAR allowed amount if you choose not to accept assignment and you collect payment from the patient when you're treating a Medicare beneficiary. Now, that seems attractive because Medicare keeps reducing reimbursement, so therapists are thinking about switching from PAR to non-PAR. But here's where the problems start to happen. If you're non-PAR, you have to choose not to accept assignment in order to qualify to collect the 115% of the non-PAR allowed amount. The non-PAR allowed amount is 95% of the PAR allowed amount. So you've already lost a little bit of the potential profit. If you're going to be collecting from the patient, hopefully at the time of service, that means you're probably going to be processing credit cards. That means you're going to lose another 2.5% plus any processing fees. Whereas if you're PAR, you're going to get direct deposit on the full allowed amount. Non-PAR providers, when you submit a claim to Medicare, the claim processes. It does not auto forward to the supplemental plan. Whereas when you are a PAR provider, it auto forwards. So you're saving the administrative hassle of not having to send the claim to the supplemental plan, the secondary. When you're non-PAR, there's an element of trust that is lost between you and the patient. When a patient knows you are contracted with Medicare, they don't understand necessarily the difference between PAR and non-PAR. And so when all of a sudden you're saying, hey, you need to pay for this at the time of service, the patient's thinking, well, I've never paid before. Why are you taking my money now instead of getting payment from Medicare? So you run up the cost because you have to usually process credit card fees. You have to make bank runs for deposits. You have to take time out of your schedule and billable minutes to process payments for the patient. You run the risk of a patient just not paying. If you get into the world of invoicing patients, now you're having delays in collecting your money. Heaven forbid, the worst case scenario is you actually wait for the patient to get paid before the patient pays you. Now you're just a double whammy in that. So the reality is, while there is that one benefit of being able to charge up to the limiting allowed amount, the limiting amount, which is 115% of the non-PAR fee schedule, I could rattle off another 10 reasons not to choose to be non-PAR. If you're going to contract, just be a contracted provider who is participating with Medicare. Allow Medicare to pay you directly. Allow the patient to have the security of knowing that Medicare is paying the bill. There are so many more benefits to being a participating provider. If you guys have questions, if you need clarifications, or you want any other information, let me know. I'm just hanging out. It's a rainy day. We're waiting for cross-country meets to start. I'll catch you guys on the next video.